RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
What's up? Hello, everyone. Sorry for being late or something. It's been a very, very stressful week for me and the world, I guess. Yeah, it's all about me, though. No, it's not. I'm only kidding. Yeah, this is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. Unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity, and we need more of that, I think. How we sounding out there? Sound and video is good. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for my producers in the chat room. Nice to see you, Jim. Nice to see you, Haiku. Thank you guys for doing double duty as not just sound and visual check, but also moderators in the chat room. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. I'm sure more people will show up. It's very difficult, to do a daily show at a set time. I really wish I could. It would probably be better in general. I would like to see you more often. I don't know. I'm just saying. If you can, become a patron. Please do at patreon.com/Tara Devlin to keep the show going and growing. We had some patrons drop off. I got a message from one of our dear friends and explaining, her situation about it has to do with medical care. And it pissed me off, not because of, her saying that she has to drop her patronage, but that this is a concern in this country, that we have to worry about health care. If we get sick, that this is, we got to pinch our pennies. So it just is a reminder of why we are here, why we're doing what we do, why we fight. And we certainly have a lot to worry about at this point, but with worrying is is a waste of energy if you don't put action behind it. And so worrying is one thing. It's almost like a victim stance, but if without action, I mean, that really is the remedy. And I have to say, it's just in general, that's the remedy. Not that I'm like a friggin' guru or anything, but I know that when I'm feeling down and despondent, action, get off your ass, move a muscle, change a thought. That I learned all that in the rooms, but also it is, it's a remedy for being in my head and thinking that, there's no hope. And sometimes it feels like that. And because look at this world. It's absolute madness. It's chaos. It's ridiculous. Having to deal with Republicans. You guys know how I feel. In general, I believe the world is the way it is because of all this, all the erroneous beliefs that stem from the ultimate erroneous belief, that being that we're all disconnected, that we are not connected. That is, that's where it all comes from. It's never enough. And also I believe that if you look around the world, I mean, I'm not, whatever. I don't really want to get on this soapbox, but I think, speaking of erroneous teachings, all of the religions of the book, so to speak, as they say, they're part of the problem, in my opinion. I mean, not that people don't get some satisfaction or spiritual something out of it. Some people do. I know some actual Christians, as we spoke about this before. I have friends. I have one of my dear friends I grew up with, and he's gay, and he's a priest. He's not a Catholic priest. He's a Episcopalian priest, and he's out. He's open. That's what he does. He lives in whatever they live in. What do they live in? The priests. They live in a rectory or something. And He does the sermons, and that's his job. That's what he does. But he believes it, right? And good for him. But he's an actual Christian. He goes out and he helps people, helps homeless people. He feeds he follows Jesus's teachings. You know what I mean? So he's one of the outliers. You don't see that much in many Christians. And one of the Christians, so-called Christians, we'll talk about tonight, of course, is Mike Johnson and his wife. I mean, his beard. Come on, let's get real. And I'm really glad. And in fact, guys, this is another thing, right? We're always like first to the party, right? We always say things and then everybody else catches up. Because, last week we were talking about how Mike Johnson is gay. In my heart of hearts, I guess, well, maybe it's not me just making up. It's pretty obvious, so I can't really say. It's not like when I was calling people, when I was saying that the Republicans were fascist, 10 years ago, and then people were like, oh, come on, Godwin's law. Forget that. Give me a break. Don't get me started on that. All right. But we will talk about Mike Johnson. But people in fact, I was listening to Tom Hartman earlier, and they were discussing it. He had Michelangelo Signorelli on, and Michelangelo wrote an article about how, he believed, because something that Mike Johnson had said, that he had said that he believes homosexuality is a choice. And Michelangelo Signorelli said, do you believe that? Because you made that choice. And this is exactly what we were saying last week. Anybody who thinks it's a choice is probably saying that because they made a choice. And there is nothing more clear to me that he made that choice except, how do I put this? Not except. I should put it this way. It's more clear, or it becomes clearer when when I see him sitting next to his beard, aka his wife. I'm just looking at I don't know, something's up with this. I'm looking at Facebook. It's not connected. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It's not streaming. It just says trying to connect. Whatever. It's always something. But while I try to connect this, why don't you say, I don't know, go to become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. Or I want to say thank you to Charlie from APS Radio News for helping the show keep going and growing and supporting the Tarabuster mission and also the community cats. I appreciate that. Little Boudica appreciates it. She's a very good girl. And so does the community cats, who, I know they appreciate it, even though they don't act like it sometimes, but you can tell they appreciate it. So thank you. But I appreciate it. So APS Radio News is another independent media outlet run by a good person, a very good person, Charlie. And he has different shows on there, including this show. Not every show is a liberal, so to speak, show. There are different points of view. Not nut jobs, though. Not like right wingers or anything. And I'm very honored and appreciative to be part of the APS Radio News roster. So thank you so much. And all right, thank you, Ed, for your super chat cover charge covered. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jim, of course, again, as always, for your super chat. So let's get into it, since we have a lot to talk about. It's been a few days. It's been a week. Can you believe it? I just overextended myself during the week. I had no time. You don't even know how many people up my ass I had. I should have charged them rent. Okay, it was getting uncomfortable. All right. I do see that we're going to hear the music in a second, so I won't. Let me see. Where do we begin? As I kill some time before we hear the music, because I don't want to just get going and have to slow down. Slow down. All right. Well, let me see. Where do we begin? So here's what we're going to talk about. Mike Johnson is a closet case, legally and peacefully. I think. I don't know for sure. In my professional opinion, he looks like one. But it's also, proving me right again. Republicans are not only... Okay, well, you see what I'm saying? I'm stepping on myself. Hold on. Come on back. I'll finish this sentence. Okay, we're back. Mike, what do I always say? That the Republicans aren't just trying to roll back the New Deal. They're not trying to roll back the progressive era, the 20th century. They're trying to roll back the American Revolution. They're trying to roll us back to the Dark Ages. And I swear to God, as Haiku reminded me on the chat, it does suck to be right. It really does. And I don't want to be right, but they keep proving me right. It's really upsetting, frankly. River with the super chat. Thank you so much, River, for your very generous super chat. Nice to see ya. Nice to see ya. And your very cute emoji. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, it's tragic. On the chat, Jim says, as a closet case, he would only be hurting himself mostly. He and his beard did a lot more damage than that. Exactly. Because Republicans, if only they got help. But they inflict their manias on the world. And, it's like Tommy Tuberville, okay? And a lot of people talking about him because he has this hold on military promotions because he's a piece of dirt, right? And this is what Republicans do. They downplay, they claim to be for the military, of course, but they're not for the military. They're not for the police. They're not for anybody unless it serves the oligarchy, right? So they like, they don't support the police. They support the police state. And they only like the police when they're bashing minorities. Some minority group du jour that's getting out of line. When the police, as we saw on January 6th, when the law protects democracy, protects humanity, decency, dignity, democracy, that's when they don't like the police, So they're just full of shit. They like fascism. They want everyone in their place. That's why they talk about the police. And it's the same thing for the military. And anybody in the military who votes Republican, you should get your head examined. Because here's I was in the military, you guys know, and whatever. I'm not a great soldier or anything. I was in the National Guard, but you train with the regular army. It's regular army when you're active. So whatever. It's not like the Army Junior or anything, but you go through the same training and everything. But anyway, so whatever. I know a little bit about what goes on in there, and if anyone, well, what was I going to say? So here's the thing. A lot of people who are dumb and are in the military. There are a lot of dumb people in the military too. I got to tell you, okay. I just have to say, I was kind of shocked at when I got there, like how stupid some people are. It's pretty amazing because a lot of people, of course, are there because they can't do anything else. So you're talking about the low end of the IQ curve. And I saw this actually. I wonder if I have it handy. I saw somebody created a graph of MAGAs, and it's true because half of the population is as far as IQ has an IQ lower than 100, and the other half is above 100. So, and they did a curve. So the MAGAs are below 100, and then the normal people are above. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. And the meme said, try to figure out where you are if you're a MAGA. So, basically the MAGAs are not that smart. Was the the gist there. And it's true, but the fact is most humans operate with I think, what's the average IQ? Let me look this up. Average IQ it's not that, it's 100. Yes, that's what I just said. Yeah. And but there's a lot of dumb people. I don't know how many I guess I don't need to beat that over the head, but it's true. When I was in the military, there was nice people too, smart people, but there were a lot. I was very shocked, to tell you the truth, at how basically to the level of eating paste. You know what I mean? Some people, not all, but whatever. Okay. So, there you go. The point is, where was I going with that? MAGAs are, they're not that smart. And anybody who votes Republican, if you're in the military and you vote for these people, you should have your head examined. You must be dumb in some form, because the fact is the Democrats aren't going to defund the military. I'm sorry to say, it's not going to happen. This country has a standing army by one effing vote. Okay? One vote. The founders voted to have a standing army. And now it's become basically a grift, the military-industrial complex, humanity hanging on a cross of iron, all the dire warnings that, of course, we will never heed, because greed is the only value that trumps everything else. And for the rest of us, the 1%, they get the greed, and everybody else gets Jesus, right? That's the bargain here, the grand bargain. So, but I guess there's a lot of people who, there's a whole thing about the military voting Republican, because they think, I guess, and I suppose it's part of how the corporate media spreads this bullshit, because they spread a lot of nonsense, as we know. It's the Republicans do not support the troops. They don't. They cut VA funding. They cut any services to veterans and active duty service people. I mean, they're just disgusting, but they understand how they don't need, it doesn't matter what happens in reality as long as they own the message. They'll do nothing for the troops. I remember, we could go throughout history during, I remember when they cut funding for traumatic brain injuries for soldiers coming home from Afghanistan and wherever the hell else, after they had been blown up and they had their brains, shook up in their heads. And Republicans, they just cut, because that's all they know how to do, is cut and give to the rich. Take from everybody else and give to the bloated parasites that are never satiated. They're never satisfied. It's never enough. They will suck the life out of us, and that's what they're doing. Where the hell did that come from? The music? Come back and hang out. Unapologetic liberal talk. Yeah. So, all right. There's some. I mean, and now it gets worse. And the other thing I heard Tom Hartman say today, which was very interesting, was he was discussing how, I don't mean to do a recap of Tom Hartman's show, but that's what happened. It is what it is. I was just listening to him earlier, and he was talking about how Joe Biden mentioned the what is that? The fourth turning. Joe Biden. Because, let's see, fourth turning. Because Joe Biden he quoted Joe Biden saying that he, hold on a second. He said, there comes a time, maybe every 6-8 generations, where the world changes in a very short time. We are at that time now. And I think what happens in the next 2 to 3 years is going to determine what the world looks like for the next 5 or 6 decades. And that comes from a book, I guess. It's a theory. It's a generational theory. It's coined in a book by Neil Howe and William Strauss, where they say that America sees a turning every 20 years as one generation displaces another, and that there is a dynamic between the two, and which creates a crisis. And according to the fourth turning, the next New Deal will center around young adults. I'm just reading this now. With boomers imposing a new duty of compulsory service and millennials recognizing this as a path to public achievement. Joe Biden, who became America's oldest president when he was elected in 2020, has several attributes that align with the fourth turning theory, including a devout Catholic, a biography marked by perseverance and personal tragedies, and a distant sense of empathy, and not distant, a distinct. Trump would have a distant sense of empathy, a distinct sense of empathy in his public remarks. But the point is, we are standing at a crossroads. We will either have democracy for the next 50, 60 years solidified, or we will have fascism. We will have anti-democracy. We will have authoritarianism, because these are the choices. This is where we are. And the forces of authoritarianism they're loud, but they are not the majority. But still, we can't take them lightly. We can't rest on our laurels or think that it can't happen here, because it is happening here. And it will happen here if we don't stop it legally and peacefully. We have to stop it. We have to be aware of it. And Mike Johnson, he is a dangerous Christo-Fascist. The MAGA cult are a bunch of dangerous Christo-Fascists imposing an anti-American worldview anti-American, not just worldview, an anti-American agenda on this country. They hate this country. How many times I gotta say it? I'll say it all the time. Like Mike Malloy always said, have I mentioned yet tonight how much I hate these people? Well, have I mentioned yet tonight how much they hate this country? How much Republicans hate this country? They hate it so much. This is why they want to transform it into a Christo-Fascist authoritarian dictatorship that basically looks a lot like the system the founders overthrew, with the rich at the top, everybody else in their place, no social safety net, the church and state are intertwined. That's what they're openly saying this now. But don't worry, everyone. There'll be a lot of stars and eagles involved. There'll be stars up your ass. You'll have stars up the wazoo, eagles flying out of your ass. while they drag us back to the Dark Ages. And they are not they're not fit. And that is another thing I've been saying for years, that they're unfit to hold leadership positions in a modern nation because they lack the fundamental maturity. They just can't handle it. They can't handle that the world keeps evolving, that not everybody wants to believe in their sky spook, but even still, who wants to believe in a sky spook that like their sky spook? I mean, pick a good sky spook. Pick somebody worthy. At least Zeus had some things going for him. It was interesting. I mean, what's this sky spook all about? He cares. He knows all the secrets of the universe, but he doesn't want you to, make a legal marriage contract with somebody of the same peepee? Give me a break. What a tiny little sky spook you have there. He knows it all. He sees everything. He sees every hair on your head. He counts every hair on your head. But just don't, masturbate. Don't touch your pee-pee. That's what they care about. They know the time immemorial. But don't what? Don't go to gay bingo? These people are fucked up, guys. They're very sick. That's the problem. See, they have to inflict, they project. They project everything. Like everything's a confession or a projection. We know this. They're very sick people. And I got some video too. We're going to go, we got the receipts here. So here, let me see. Where do we begin? Let's start with this Kelly Johnson beard. That sounds better, actually. Her name, Kelly Johnson Beard. Or Kelly Beard Johnson. It's like Lady Bird Johnson. Kelly Beard Johnson. Oh, God help us if he becomes president. He could. I was thinking about that. Imagine this, like all these. That could never happen. Please don't. Please don't make this. Don't even speak it into reality. Don't speak it into anything. Don't speak it into nothing. Take it away. All right, here's Kelly and Mike Johnson, Christo-Fascists. And Kelly Johnson sounds very much like Michelle Duggar. And for those who don't know, Michelle Duggar is another Christo-Fascist, and she's in that night. Well, she's got her vagina is very exhausted at this point. I can't even imagine. Her uterus is exhausted. She had 19 kids and counting, and they all have this fake ass voice. All the women, I should say. It's like the Ivanka voice, the girly, the babyish little. It's like a cross between baby, teenage. It's like they're like not just teenage. It reminds me of like a Lolita. That's the kind of voice they're trying to get across. Even though Lolita is like you're a sexual predator, but. It's like they're wispy, breathy, childlike voice. Because you're not allowed to be an adult woman with these very tiny men around you. And you have to be very pleasing, and that was, in fact, and if I remember correctly, Trump, the con man, the tax cheating, draft dodging, wannabe dictator con man with the fake university and the vitamin scam, he wanted all of the females in the Oval Office to wear skirts, because they had to all be pleasing to the eye, pleasing to the eye of that lump that lump of cheese whiz, whatever that is. That's what he reminds me of. It's not, well, it's like cottage cheese molded in the shape of a very sick man. And I say man, I don't even know. Well, he's not a man. To call him a man is to give him a promotion. He's a thing. The thing that wouldn't go away legally and peacefully. Right? That really is true. The thing that wouldn't go away legally and peacefully. He won't go away legally and peacefully. Get him out.
They've also come after you personally, attacked you. You're a Christian counselor, a woman of God.
Christian counselor.
What's your response to that?
Christian counselor, a woman of God. Hold on. A Christian counselor, a woman of God. You're not a Christian counselor. You're a bigot. You're a zealot. That's what Christian counseling is. It's beating somebody over the head with their shame. Right? It's making someone else who, it's none of your effing business. Kelly Johnson, whatever the hell your name is. It's none of your effing business. Somebody wants to form a legal marriage contract with somebody of the same peepee. What is that your business? These people, they're vile. We have this short blip of time that we're sharing on this earth, and Kelly and Mike Johnson want to tell people what they should do with their lives, with their limited lifespan. They want to beat people up and inflict pain on them and shame and just heap them with all kinds of bullshit when they just leave people alone. Leave people alone to be who they are. What is more disgusting than that? Than taking somebody and trying to make them into your vision of what they should be. Leave people alone. This is why Republicans are unfit. They all talk about innovation and business people and people, Americans, we can fucking whatever, go to the moon. But they stand in the way of that. They're constantly holding people back. Forget pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. These people hold us back by our short hairs all the time. They're just holding us back, dragging us down, trying to make us be less than, trying to make us as small as they are. Because they just can't handle a big society, a great society, a society that's worthy, of being, a beacon, a shining city on the hill. And they certainly like to use those phrases all the time, right? Shining city on a hill. But I guess in their mind, what's the shining city on the hill? It's a Christo-Fascist authoritarian state where some scumbag, some tax-cheating, draft-dodging con man, he's a shining city on the hill? Yeah, so that's what people want to see. They want to see some goon mocking a disabled reporter or talking about grab them by the pussy. They want or crying and whining that everything is so unfair to them. Okay, well, let's get back to Kelly Beard Johnson. And tell me that she doesn't sound like Michelle Duggar.
I used to be a school teacher, and I loved that. But I just felt burdened for so many people, and I felt the calling to go back to school to become a Christian counselor. And it's because I love people, and I want to be able to help them through their times of struggle and suffering. And I love what I do. I absolutely love it.
As a husband, I'll take any arrows, that's fine, but don't talk about my wife. For
Oh,
goodness sake.
please.
She's the kindest, sweetest person in the
Is
world.
she
that
really?
anybody be.
Is it really kind? She's the kindest, sweetest, bigoted bitch who tries to get people, what, to kill themselves? To conform to her vision? To conform to her sick, twisted vision of what they should be? Oh, she's the kindest. Just listen to her babyish voice. She's as kind as a little baby. I'm just, how could anybody say anything bad about what I'm doing with my reparative therapy? Because I'm doing it with such a smile and such a coiffed and groomed facade and visage of my hair. Look at my hair and the sweeping curls that are so pleasing to the Lord. And my husband, my master, my priesthood holder, sitting next to me, who literally thinks the earth is 6,000 years old, and now he's gonna be the president when I'm done. All I got to do is get rid of 1 and 2 up there. We're working on it. With pray. We got our prayer circles. We're praying for a priestly, lordly intervention, divine intervention. That's what they used to do, these fuckers. These disgusting Republican Christo-Fascists. Remember they used to pray for the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? They would have prayer circles. This is who they are. And she also says that it's the Lord. The Lord put this closet case in the speakership. I think she says it in this clip, actually. It's right out of the Bible. And, that ancient book of fables written by a bunch of dudes who were trying to, I don't know, they didn't know what a germ was or where the sun went when it went down. They thought it went into hell. But they're going to teach us a lot. They teach us a lot. We only pick and choose what we want to take. We don't talk about all the other things, the abominations. They talk about being gay is an abomination to the Lord. So is wearing cloth of 2 different fabrics. That's an abomination. So is eating shellfish. So is lending money at interest. But, we only focus on the things that hurt people because it doesn't matter what cloth of different color. That's why, that, I don't know if I think I heard this somewhere now that I'm saying this, that it is not confirmed. Is that why Orthodox Jews wear the certain clothing like that? Because it says in the Bible that you can't mix fabrics or something. I don't know. I heard that once. Like, that fucking matters. I'm sorry. I'm cursing a lot. Again, what else is new, right? I should just give it up. Just lean in to it. But it's not good for the YouTubes. But anyway. Yeah, but that matters. Right? Wearing cloth. If you wear a hat and you wear a, whatever, you look like you're from the 16th century. You put on a giant pointy hat, red shoes like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And what? Could you imagine? That's it? That's all you're going to do? How about being a good person? Who cares? How about being a loving person? What is more the epitome, or what is well, how do I put this? What's worse? Right? Being gay or being a horrible bitch who tells people that they're going to hell, they're going to burn in all flames in all eternity unless they live an inauthentic life. unless they live in misery, live inauthentically, because when they get to their deathbed, they can look up and say, oh, thank God, everybody thought I was straight. Everybody thought I liked the opposite peepee. Not the same peepee. Thank God. Like, as if that matters. I mean, think about what a tiny, pathetic God you have. If that is your concern, what about being nice to people? What about being good? Who cares? They like somebody who happens to have an innie or an outie. Who effing cares? Exactly, Paradu. Tara's gaydar remains undefeated. It's so true. It's so true. Just like I said, too. Remember this. We will probably never know the answer. But I also said that Alex Jones, I think, is trans, frankly. I know. My good friend Robin Kincaid, when I bring that up, she's like, don't make him, don't give him to trans people. But he is so damaged. And we were going through one of his videos one day, one of the clips of him going off on trans people. And as we were, breaking it down, it hit me. I was like, oh my God, he is trans. But of course, we'll never know. That's why he's so self-loathing. That's why he looks like that. He's ready to explode. Like, he looks like, he's just, he's horrible. He's got substance abuse issues, and we'll be right back. And it was because the way he was discussing, who was he talking about? Who's that trans swimmer that they all go fucking lose their minds over? I can't remember her name, but Alex Jones was going off on the trans swimmer, and he was going off and talking, it's just disgusting the way he was going off on her, and discussing her. This is what they do too. This is how because they're so interested in their anatomy, or what they do in bed. They do it all the time. They did. There was another one of these Christo-Fascist right-wing freaks that was going off on Pete Buttigieg and going on about how what he does in bed and what does he do, and who thinks like this unless you really, really want to know, because you wish you could do it. You wish you weren't so repressed, and it's just so tempting. It's so horrible to see people who don't hate themselves like you do. So anyway, all right, let's get back to these two these evil closet cases, and they are evil. That is what it is. That's the word for two scumbags who think that they have everybody's answer, right? But their answers suck. You know what I mean? It's like they're not making happiness. They're making shame. They're making repression. They're making people hate themselves and want to kill themselves. And they're causing stress and anxiety. And they got these fake ass smiles, and that's why they're just coiffed within an inch of their lives, because that's all they have. It's another example of the substance. I mean, the substance is well beyond them, so they gotta go with the style. The substance of being a human being is way above their head. So let me put my hair. Look at his hair. Look at his fucking wife's hair. Look at their faces, their fake ass faces. You're gonna tell me that they, come on. He goes home, he's like, kicks off his shoes, grabs her, kisses her. that they can't wait to get into the door. You know, they just can't wait to ravage each other in lovemaking. My ass. Come on. You know it's, sex for procreation. Or what, even if that. But these people need to mind their own business. Go away. Take your stupid ancient book of fables and F off back to the Dark Ages. We're not coming with you. We have already evolved. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you can't keep up. But that's the thing. What I was going to say, too, about Tommy Tuberville. Like, who the hell is he? Who the hell is he telling everybody what they can do? No promotion for you. We have a whole infrastructure. The entire military is like, okay, these people deserve promotions. Oh, no, they don't. And then he denigrates the military. Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing like I didn't do because one of the generals ended up in the hospital with a heart attack from the 20-hour days, 7 days a week he had to work to make up for the fact that he didn't have any help, any subordinates to help because of Tommy effing Tuberville. This less vote getting con man who the only reason he's in there is because Trump picked his ass. You realize that? He was one of these other maggots. Trump said, this is Tommy Tuberville. And he's in some gerrymandered seat. So these people they don't represent the majority. This is the problem. And why, as we're standing at the crossroads between democracy and authoritarianism, that this is one of the things we have to rectify. We cannot abide the tyranny of the minority. It's not working. It never did. We would be so much further down the road. We would be such a better, more perfect union if not for these these conservative albatrosses around our national necks, holding us back. They have no business being in the majority. They cannot handle it. Let them go. Pray in their closets. Go to the dark ages. You could go live in the Dark Ages, Go like the Amish. Be like the Amish, but they don't have the balls to be like the Amish, At least the Amish practice what they preach. But these assholes want to inflict it on the rest of us. Imagine the Amish getting into power and being like, you're all going to live like me. You're all going to ride around in a horse-drawn buggy. You're all going to have, whatever they call it. You're all going to have to wear friggin' bonnets and go plow in the fields or whatever. You know what I mean? This is the same thing. Go away. Go away, you Christo-Fascist freaks. And the other thing that gets on my nerves, just while we're on the subject, is that why must we all respect this? We have to respect their stupid beliefs, even though they're stupid and ridiculous. Oh, we have to respect their faith. Oh, we must believe. Let them, whatever. Whatever. Live and let live. They don't respect our faith, my faith, do they? They want to inflict their Christo-Fascist everything on the country. They want America to be a Christian nation, even though it is not a Christian nation. It was founded as an antidote to the church and state intertwined. That's why the founder said no religious test. They lived in a world where the church and state were intertwined. This is supposed to be the remedy for that. So, but they can't handle, they always say Judeo-Christian values. They're just throwing the Judeo in there to sound somewhat reasonable. But they Judeo my ass. They don't. The only thing the Judeo serves in their Christo-Fascist worldview is that it's gonna bring back Jesus. There'll be Armageddon, and Jesus is gonna step off the cloud and step across all the bodies that the Christo-Fascist on Earth created, so they can welcome Jesus back to Earth. And then the Jews are going to have a choice. Either you convert, or the Christo-Fascists are going to lop off your skulls. So that's it. You think the Judeo-Christian, they don't care about Judeo. They hate Judeo. We're founded on Judeo-Christian. No, we're not. What are Judeo-Christian values? Humanist. That's what we were founded. Humanist values. Being decent humans. You don't have to be a Christian. In fact, it helps. Sometimes it helps when you're not. I'll take the arrows. I love this lower third. I'll take the arrows for my wife. I'm a man. Can't you tell by my coiffed hair? No, he kind of looks like a very butch lesbian to me. And she's just, she's so enthralled with her handsome man. Could you imagine her? Come on. Reaching into his lap like Lauren Band from the bowling alley, Bulbert? Come on. The two of them and him going for it? No way. There's no way in hell. There is no way. I want to be a fly on the wall. It's just, it's not normal. It's not natural. All right, let's continue with the Speaker Johnson and his beard. Kelly Beard Johnson.
Anywhere, at any stage of her life, I'll tell you about this lady right here.
Oh, I love that. And
isn't
how are
that
your
wonderful?
kids dealing with it all?
They're doing pretty well. I think they're also still in shock because it's still so new.
God,
but,
it's
they're proud of their
unbearable.
dad, and they're excited. They're excited for what's ahead.
Do you
They're
believe your
excited.
husband is here in this role for such a time as this, at this
Oh my
particular
God.
moment, for a reason?
I do. I believe that God has placed him here. That's biblical.
Really?
The Bible says he raises up leaders and he brings them down, right? So
Okay. He raises up leaders. Well, what about Joe Biden? He raised up Joe Biden. I love how this is another example of how these right-wingers pick and choose. Hold on. This is unapologetic liberal talk. I'll be right back. I love how these right-wingers pick and choose, right? Whenever they're not in power, whenever they couldn't rig or voter suppress or gerrymander their way into illegitimate power despite receiving fewer votes, they're like, oh, God raises up us up, but then sometimes I guess he didn't raise us up now. He didn't raise up Barack Obama. He didn't raise up Joe Biden. He didn't raise up all the Democrats, the majority of the Americans who vote Democratic. No, he raises up. It says right there in the Bible. It says it right there in that damn Bible of ours that was written by a bunch of dudes back when, they didn't even know that, they didn't know nothing. They had no antibiotics. They had they had nothing there. What else did they have not of? They didn't live past 40. I don't know. Not all of them. The rich lived longer, as always. They didn't realize, they didn't know they thought that disease was the cause because of demons. They had a lot to offer us in this modern world. Yes, they rose us up. Just right there. So we could be in this place to tell everybody what to effing do. not in the history and the spirit of America. I mean, what are these people talking about? I thought we were supposed to be free. Freedom, right? Freedom. I keep hearing about these freaks. Freedom, right? They talk about freedom whenever they can't stand doing or sharing civilization with everybody else. Oh, freedom. You can't tell me what to do. But these fuckers want to tell everybody what to do, what to think, how to act, how to live, how to be, what to do, how to form a legal marriage, who they're going to spend their lives with. That's what they want to tell you. What you can do, what you can be, who you are. Because they hate freedom. Freedom is only a buzzword for right-wingers to excuse their selfishness. When they don't want to share, when the world isn't the way they want it, when they can't share civilization with anybody else, then they say freedom. And when they want to walk around with an assault weapon, because they're cowards who don't bring a damn thing to the table. I have to remind everybody, or whatever. No, I mean, I wish I didn't have to. Certainly I don't really have to, because we see it all the time. They bring nothing to the table. What do they offer society? What do these people offer society? Everywhere we look, they don't bring kindness. They don't bring decency. They bring bullshit. They bring a facade. They bring a show. They bring the pantomime of compassion. Oh, I just really care about what everybody does with their peepees. 'Cause my giant man on a cloud, who has a peepee, too, it's a man. You know, why would God be female? That's just ridiculous. Of course, a divine creator is male only. You know, not that it matters. I mean, but he's got a peepee. I don't know where he relieves himself. Why a giant man on a cloud needs a peepee? What's he doing with his peepee? Oh, but he's a very jealous God. God you shall not have any other gods but me. Like, who cares? Oh my God. He's a jealous God. He's got very petty little personality traits. Uh-oh. Here comes the boss. All right, just sit there, boss. You got something in your eye, boss. Just sit there, boss. Whee! It's the boss. Were you gonna sit there? All right. Let's listen to these mother effers.
So I believe that God has him here for just this time.
Just this time. He's got a lot of things. For us, we were divinely put in this goddamn seat. I wouldn't exactly call Matt Gaetz God. You bunch of freaks. I mean, talk about being a legend in your own mind. I was put here by God. No, you were put there by a wolfy-looking fascist who likes to pay underage sex. pay underage girls for sex using Venmo. We were put here by God. Matt Gaetz is not God. I just can't take these people. I cannot take it. And she does sound just like Michelle Duggar. Here, I don't know. Let me see. Let me see.
Hello, this is Michelle Duggar. I'm calling to inform you of some shocking news that will affect the safety of Northwest Arkansas women and children. The Fayetteville...
It sounds really bad, but that's Michelle Duggar's anti-trans recording. Yes, you know, her robocall. It's shocking news. Shut the fuck up with your fucking piece of fucking... Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cursing you two. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's like you can't help it. You just can't help it. And surprise to no one, what do you think? I mean, these people, I can't take. They're so, they don't have a grasp of reality. So of course they wouldn't have a grasp of history, and because Mike Johnson hates himself, Freud would have to hang up his shingle. We know that. He blamed the fall of Rome on gays. I've heard this before from homophobes. Everything is gays, right? Everything is because gays. Because of gays. The fall of Rome, 9/11, every tragedy that ever happened. All we have to do is Google Pat Robertson and anti-gay, or Pat Robertson blames gays. Let's see. Actually, let's try that. Let me look this up. I'll go to the Perplexity. Give me a list of all the events Pat Robertson blamed on gays. Be right back and we'll find out. Let's see. Oh, yes. Gay people and abortion caused 9/11. Gay people in San Francisco were using rings to give people AIDS when they shake hands. This is all the things that Pat Robertson said. The acceptance of homosexuality could result in hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, terrorist bombings, and possibly a meteor. You see what I mean? Pat Robertson is burning in hell. God won't bless America because of gay people and abortion. The supporters of Adolf Hitler were gay. These people just everything is gays. Why don't, I wish they would try something different once in their rotten, useless lives. I wish they would try kindness, right? Wouldn't that be funny? If they could give it a go for a minute. And of course, Pat Robertson said the LGBTQ plus community will make Christians like anal sex and bestiality. He said that. That they will make them like anal sex and bestiality. Hello? Freud? Paging Dr. Freud? Paging Dr. Freud. If that's not a projection and a confession, I don't know what isn't. And thank you again, Jim, for another super chat. The sweary tip jar returns. I appreciate that. Don't encourage me. Don't encourage the swearing. No, I'm only kidding. I can't help it. I told you the story. My mother tried. Everybody tried to get me to stop my salty language. I couldn't help it. Where'd you start? Where'd you learn that? I learned it from you, Mom. All right. Yeah, where is this? So, of course, Mike Johnson says that the fall of Rome. These people are so dumb. I'm so tired of the dumb. Aren't you? Isn't that exhausting? So much dumb. And I want to remind everybody, we don't have a corner market on dumb here in the United States of serfs and lords. We just have a lot of dumb people in power because of our dumb setup, because of our dumb laws, because of the dumb process that allows dumb people who receive fewer votes to hold power. That's unacceptable. They have no integrity. They have no decency. They have no dignity. They are parasites. They suck on America like a parasite sucks on a host. They're disgusting. Okay, well, here from the New Republic. Guess who MAGA Mike Johnson once blamed for the fall of Rome? Prior to launching his political career, Speaker Mike Johnson worked hand in hand with a group promoting conversion therapy for gay teens. Well, how many teens did he cause to, want to commit suicide? This rotten soul bastard. He said that, he was with a group, where the heck am I? Promoting conversion therapy for gay teens, actively promoting the criminalization of gay sex, even blaming the sexual orientation for the downfall of the Roman Empire. According to a CNN review that analyzed dozens of the Louisiana Republicans' media appearances between 2006 and 2010, before he entered political office, Johnson spent years providing legal advice to Exodus International, when we know about this group, an Orlando-based Christian conversion therapy organization whose practices resulted in quantifiable harm. And in fact, there were many leaders of this ex-gay, Exodus, whatever the hell movement, organization, where they came out as gay after the fact. They met in Exodus, leaders of the groups, and two of the big top leaders got together. It was more than two. There was many other couples found each other in this effed up, sick ass group, this organization that was the epitome of inflicting its manias on society, and did more harm than that can even imagine. I said they say quantifiable, but yeah, it is quantifiable because they cause kids to want to kill themselves, want to harm themselves, want to, beat others up or whatever, harm others. They cause a lot of pain in society. Why don't they just leave people alone? Why don't they just shut their filthy mouths? Right? That's too hard for them. They need to make others as miserable as they are, I suppose. So it says, the article goes on, it says he partnered with the group to run an annual anti-gay event called the Day of Truth, a snub at the National Youth Movement protest called the Day of Silence, which recognizes the silent suffering of LGBTQ teens who are bullied. So they just wanted to reiterate more bullying, heap some more bullying onto society. According to some experts, Johnson didn't just pander to anti-gay advocates. He was the anti-gay. All right. Boudica's running around like mad. He was the anti-gay and ex-gay advocate. Wayne Besson, the executive director of Truth Wins Out, told CNN, I mean, our race, the size of our feet. This is what he said. This is a quote. Our race, the size of our feet, the color of our eyes. These are things we're born with and cannot change, Johnson said during a radio promotion of Day of Truth in 2008. Homosexual behavior is something you do. It's not something you are. What does that say? He made a choice. It's a behavior. I'm not going to engage in that behavior because he knows as well as we all know, and especially people who are gay know. You can't change your sexual orientation. He understands that. He's as gay as anybody, as me. He's gay. It doesn't matter if he procreates with his beard. He's still gay. As if, what, and like I have to say again, what a stupid God he has. What a petty little God. What does God give a shit? He made you that way. You dumb bastard. Booty. Stop it, Booty. I'm sorry. Some credit to the fall of the Roman Empire. This is how he said it. Some credit the fall of Rome not only to the deprivation of the society and the loss of morals, but also to the rampant homosexual behavior that was condoned. All right, these fuckers. I'm going to have to play a video and put one of them in the bedroom. And thank you, Robin M., for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But so getting back to the article and his dumbass opinions, it's nothing based in history, much less reality. Of course, his opinions are bullshit. His knowledge is nil. But that doesn't ever stop a Republican from opening their mouths, right? They think that they know things simply by osmosis. You want to think... I mean, I really would like to know what his scholarship is on this. I'm not saying I'm a scholar. I'm just an armchair scholar in a sense, because I've been listening to and reading about, listening to podcasts, listening to books, reading about the Roman Empire and Roman Republic since I was a kid. It's an interest of mine. What's his background? It's nothing. He just heard it once. Maybe in an elevator. Well, they probably talk about it at the anti-gay group, and they use it as some validation that doesn't exist in history. So, let me see. Hold on. I see the music is coming, but hold on a second. We'll be right back. Unapologetic liberal talk. So, let's see. Where are my links here? Hold on a second. So, according to... Well, here's some actual reasons why Rome fell. Invasions by barbarian tribes. Economic troubles. I mean, what happened was Rome became too big. That's why they had to split it. And, of course, there was a lot of mismanagement. Weakening of the Roman legions, corruption, climate change, and disease. That's another on the list. Climate changes and both endemic and epidemic disease drove many of the immediate factors that contributed to the collapse of the Roman Empire. Economic troubles, over-reliance of slave labor. Rome was suffering a severe financial crisis. Constant wars, overspending left the treasury empty. Heavy taxation, inflation, impoverished the population. The wealthy, the gap between the rich and the poor, where caused many wealthy Romans to set up independent fiefdoms. Sounds a little familiar here. The empire was no longer able to expand territory. Empires did not have enough laborers. Overexpansion and military overspending. At its height, the Roman Empire stretched from the Atlantic Ocean to the Euphrates River. Such a vast territory to govern, the empire faced administrative and logistical challenges. I mean, no, it was gays. It was gays. It was gays. It's always the gays, right? It's always the damn gays. Well, here's another thing. Let me see. Where's my list? So here's what gets on my nerves with these assholes. Let's see. Gays didn't destroy a damn thing. Now we all know that Alexander the Great was gay, right? His this is common knowledge. His lover, Hephaestion. How do you pronounce it? Hephaestion. Who was, I think, one of his contemporaries said that no one conquered Alexander except Hephaestion, something like that. But there were gays throughout history. Let me see. Where is? Let me see. I set this all up. Now I can't find it. Let's see. Come on. This is what happens when... Let me play a video while I look this up. Because we got a lot of talked about here. Let me see. Well, let's... we got many things to talk about. What do I want to play? Here's... if I play this video, then we're going to have to talk about it. All right, why not? We could all mix it together, right? Well, here's Trump. Trump is a traitor. Let's go here for a minute. He is... Oh, shit, I just did it again. Remember last week when I couldn't access my videos? That was because I realized after the show, it was because I had thrown them out by accident. Wait a minute. Here we go. Hold on. I had thrown out all the videos. All right. Oh, well, here's some more Mike Johnson, actually, talking about this is why we don't need a Republican in a position of power.
A strategic and really a creative means to defend and advance the truth of Scripture in our time. And you speak all over the country and the world on this subject, Ken. The Ark Encounter is one way to bring people to this recognition of the truth that, what we read in the Bible are actual historical events, and that there are implications to what you do with all these stories in the Bible there.
Actual historical event. The Bible is a list of actual historical events. Isn't that incredible? How frightening. And look at these two dudes. Now, this is a guy... well, that's Mike Johnson, of course. And that's this asshole who created the Ark Encounter with the help of taxpayer money, by the way. That was one of the controversies at the time where people were like, why are we're subsidizing? We're giving government subsidies to this guy to build an ark as if it's not about and he didn't build it as if it was some story from the Bible. He built it as an educational device where school children could come and learn all about how Jesus walked with dinosaurs for real. And of course, look at these two dudes. You can't touch each other. They look pained. You can't stand next to another dude. You got to have your hands in front of you, because what are you going to do? I mean, you might give him a reach around, I suppose. So stiff, so inhuman. Unbelievable. Jim on the chat. Is there a steam room at the Ark Encounter? That would be great. There should be a gay, a gay action, as we used to call it, at the Ark Encounter. You know what I mean? Everybody go, because we used to do that when I was young, and I was in the group Act Up. We used to, if some anti-gay something happened at like a restaurant or something, I remember we would go, and then we would have a kiss-in, and all of a sudden everybody would start making out, with people you knew, of course. It was fun. I was young once, you know what I mean? Now, if you did that in a restaurant in Manhattan, nobody would care, which goes to show you how far we've come, and that's why Republicans can't handle it. And in fact, when I was kind of researching what we're talking about tonight, it struck me because, and we talked about it on the last show, how he went on Hannity and, well, figuratively. I'm sure he wanted to go on him literally, but he was on Hannity's show, which is another thing. Okay, I wanted to talk about. Well, we're probably not going to get to it when he had all the Republicans come. What a damn disgrace. And he had all the House Republicans surrounding Hannity. It was, I mean, where the hell do we live? Right? But he was on Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity was giving him cover for his anti-gay views, which goes to show you how far we have come, because he's trying to tamp it down. Things have changed. We have evolved, so much so that somebody like Mike Johnson has to kind of, he has to downplay his earlier and his current openly hostile anti-gay views. And the other thing is, with his beard and her conversion therapy, is Mike Johnson one of her clients? Probably. This is an active project, I suppose, that she's engaged in. I gotta give her credit, I suppose, for not giving up. Well, another thing, because back to the dark ages with the Republicans, and I almost forgot, actually, but Kelly Johnson's Christian counseling practices, speaking of, she also has views that come straight out of the dark ages, where she thinks people are separated by humors. That is right out of the 13th century, by the way. Well, that's not the end of the show, but that is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. So come on to youtube.com/cfachannel/Tarabuster to watch the end of the show, or, become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. We will win. We will. Hang out with us on Friday nights. We're on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. I'll see you soon. I can't believe how fast that went by. I'm so sorry that went by. I gotta get better at everything. Oh well, I don't have a lot of time left on Earth. I guess I just gotta accept it. Okay, so Kelly Johnson's Christian counseling practices have been criticized for being anti-gay. So, Onward Christian Counseling Services compared homosexuality to bestiality and incest. Yes, as always, right? As always. We've heard that one before. as we've heard everything before. That's one thing about conservatives. They're so boring. They have nothing. They never change, and they're upset that the whole world does change. That's what their problem is. They can't keep up. They're not meant for this time. They should be living in the dark ages. They would be perfect. I could see Mike Johnson being one of these fanatics. I could imagine, right? Like back in the Inquisition. Of course he would. He would be sitting in judgment of others. He would torture them. You know that. He'd put them in all kinds of torture devices, all for the good of their souls. You know that. You know that's what he would do. And he'd do it with a smile, with a fake-ass plastic smile, all the while knowing who he is inside. His sins. He would be inflicting pain on others because he hates himself. Isn't that sad? And I'm not talking about the 13th century Mike Johnson, but the 21st century Mike Johnson is pretty damn sad, too. The only thing that stops Republicans from truly behaving in murderous, vile ways, I should say, are opportunity, environment and opportunity. That's it. Like if we were living in the 20th century in Germany, in the mid-20th century, you know what they would do. You know how they would act. They wouldn't be in the resistance. They wouldn't be the ones who stood up to the Nazis or joined the resistance or helped Anne Frank's family or other families hide. They would be calling the authorities on Anne Frank. They would be the ones, for example, Sophie Scholl and her brother and the other members of the White Rose Society. They would be the janitor who called the Gestapo on Sophie and the White Rose members and had them executed the night of Sophie Scholl's and Hans, her brother's arrest. And I can't remember the other person's name. Let me see. I don't want to forget him. But the night of his arrest, of the White Rose arrest, there was a big Nazi rally. And the janitor was a guest of honor. The janitor who had informed, who had told the Gestapo, who threw the leaflets in the university, the anti-Nazi leaflets. Hold on. I don't know where Boudica gets her energy from. But she never stops. She does a lot of napping. Sophie, well, it says Hans and Sophie. There was another one who was arrested with them. Well, anyway, the point is, we'll have to think about them later. The point is, conservatives are always on the wrong side of the history. They're always on the wrong side of history, decency, dignity, humanity, and we've discussed it before too. In the 20th century, when the Nazis were invading other countries in Europe, they worked in collaboration with the conservative authorities in in the countries that they were taking over. And those people helped the Nazis establish their government. So that's Vichy, the Vichy French. They were the conservatives. And what do you think would happen? What do you think the Republicans are doing here now? They're working with Putin. They're working with autocrats. That's why Mike Johnson is voting against or coming out against aid for Ukraine, because being a vassal of Putin is the Republican agenda. They don't have a platform. Their platform is do whatever Trump wants, cover Trump's ass. I am your retribution. Do whatever he says, do whatever he wants, kiss his ass, lick his taint, pretend he's a victim. They all know he's not a victim. They all know he's a crook, but they don't care. They're helping him get away with it. They're crooks too. They're disgusting. As long as they get what they want. If they get their Christo-Fascist state, what does it matter if they have, this horrible con man sitting on the throne and his disgusting, useless children? Right? They hate America. I'm sorry. I wish I was wrong. All the Republicans who don't hate America have already left that party. God help us if they somehow seize power again, despite receiving fewer votes. And they're working on it. So we are in peril here. So to continue with Kelly Johnson's fake Christian, it's fake Christian, fake counseling, fake practices. In 2017, an operating agreement of Onward Christian Counseling Service states that the Bible shall be the ultimate authority of the company, meaning their fake Christian, fake counseling service. Kelly Beard Johnson advertised a specialty, I know it's specialty, in temperament counseling. Temperament counseling. This is right out of the Dark Ages. And I'm not kidding. It's not just a loose comparison. They are ripping pages from medical journals from the 16th century, the 13th century, earlier. A practice linked to the group founded in 1980 that classifies people into caloric, phlegmatic, and other personality types, purportedly ordained by God, which, they probably were looking shit up on the internet, and they came across this stuff from the humors, they called it. And they didn't realize that everybody knows. They probably thought it was like some obscure teaching, and they're like, wow, well, this sounds really logical. It comes right, we're going to put this in our group. It comes right out of the Bible somewhere. Oh, there's Boudica. Buddha. Booty. Such a tease. Yeah, the four bodily, according to humoralicism, why? Yes, 4 bodily fluids, blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm determine a person's temperament and imbalance. Led to certain sicknesses dependent on which humors were in excess or deficit. The humors were connected to celestial bodies, seasons, body parts, and stages of life. That's why they would bleed people, and they would try to balance your humors. Isn't that in and unbelievable? It's unbelievable too. But that's what they say. They have this archaic ideology on everything else. Why not? Yes, your humors are out of balance. You're caloric. You're phlegmatic. You have a very phlegmatic to you today, Jim. Have you been masturbating to gay porn? Have you been on Grindr? Well, that would be Mike Johnson saying, have you been on Grindr? Tell me all about it. Tell me all about your sin. Tell me, please. Tell me again, slower. The National Christian Counselors Association, which Onward Christian Counseling Services is affiliated with, advocates against abortion and homosexuality, and its practices are built on the teachings of the Greek physician Hippocrates. The Hippocratic Oath. Really? I mean, talk about a goddamn cornucopia of crap, of kookiness. So we're supposed to respect it, right? She's got her, this is her belief. Regardless of it's built on bullshit. She's got a belief. She has a sincerely held religious belief in bullshit. Sincerely. I'm sincerely holding it. Yeah, I could tell. You look like your ass is about to explode here. I'm holding it in. Can't you see? Yeah, I love it. Everybody should, if you were just do what I say, we will all be happy. The beatings will continue until morale improves. That is the Republican way. That's what they should call themselves. All right, well, God help us all. Really? Haiku on the chat. Tell me about the truck stops again. What truck stops are these? Where? What cruising area? Right? For real. It is so true. It's right out of Freud. It's right out of God. Can I be wrong once at least? You know? Just kidding. But it's so true. I kept saying it forever. If they would get help. Oh, you could see little Boudica hiding between the pillows on the couch? What? Wait, I see is that your cat? Twisted Nerves? What do you mean? You're talking about your little kitty? Or I thought you meant Booty. Little Booty. She's in the mirror over there. If you can see her, she's playing. She's looking at her beautiful self. She's very beautiful. She is. She's really cute, by the way. Did you know that? Did you know how cute she was? You know what's so cute about her? I got to get this on a video or something. One of these. I got to get my camera ready. That's what I need to do. Because when she gets up, let me explain. And she... Oh, very cute, Twisted Nerves. Your little girl hiding on your couch. Give her a chin scratch for me. But when Boudica wakes up, she's very cute. And when she stretches, you know what's very cute about her? Whenever she stretches, her little fingers, I don't know if your cats do that, but she puts her butt in the air and her fingers stretch. It's just so adorable. So her little feet are on the floor, but they're stretched out. So she's stretching her fingers too. So I have to get it on tape because it looks very cute. It's not just that she's, you know what I'm saying? All right, people are tuning out by the thousands. The millions, I should say. What am I? Why am I limiting myself? A girl can dream. All right, there's many things. There's many things that I wanted to talk about. Here's one. This is a good way to end the night, because we only have how much time? About 20 minutes. More or less. I mean, no, 20. And then we can go back, talk about other things. Oh, well, the other thing I wanted to... Here, let me do this first, quickly, because this pissed me off before I forget. And, Trump is a disgusting waste of human life and DNA. And, of course, he gives his Nuremberg rallies. And he's a danger to this country, as we know. But this is him. This is how they started one of their latest Nuremberg rallies. It's the January 6th choir. But the other thing let me just play it a little. It's getting the hiccups here.
Well, thank you very much. And you know what that was? I call them the J6 hostages. Not prisoners. I call them the hostages. Wow. What's happened. And it's a shame. And, they did that. And they asked me whether or not
what I'm saying?
I
Law
would
and order.
partake and do the beautiful words. And I said, yes, I would.
Because you're a traitor.
You saw the spirit. The spirit was incredible.
You hate America.
When that came out, it went to the #1 song. It was beating everybody.
It beat piece of dirt.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, it beat Taylor Swift.
Miley Cyrus, who was #1 and 2. They were #1 and 2. We knocked them off for a long time.
You are #1 and 2.
That song was out there for a long time. Then, of course, they had a problem with the internet, right?
Yeah,
everybody's
so
picking
on
on you. There's a problem. We'll have to take it off.
Yeah, it's a big conspiracy.
And it went back on.
It went on. It went on.
It was a #1 record or song. There was for months.
Who can handle that? Did you know that not Breitbart, Steve Bannon called themselves the Trump Davidians? I wish. Because I wish they would go the way of the Trump Davidians without all the, guns and hostages, and we don't need that. Just take it to the end. And that'll be that. Legally and peacefully. But the other thing that pissed me off here, that nobody... I've seen this clip on other places, but does anybody... and I pointed this out on somebody's Twitter feed, but... who the fuck is he to give a salute? Why is he saluting? They're playing... this traitor chorus doing the national anthem, but he's a civilian, this dirtbag. He's not the commander-in-chief. He's not the commander of anything. Maybe he's the commander of some gilded, tacky roach motel or spy magnet in Maramoron, but he's not. He's a civilian. He should put his hand over his heart. That's what you do. You didn't earn that. You didn't earn a salute. He's standing there with a friggin' salute. You see what I'm saying? Another example of Republican stolen valor. Who the hell are you? He disrespects the military. He hates the military. He doesn't understand. Well, why? What's in it for them? People who made the ultimate sacrifice, he denigrates them. He devalues, he debases them. He's disgusting. And he gets to stand there and salute like he's some big tough guy. But he couldn't do his service, right? When his country called, his feet hurt. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. My feet hurt. So who the hell is he? And nobody pointed this out. Why is he? We just accept his disgusting behavior. He has no right to salute. Now imagine if that were Barack Obama, right? The right wingers would be like, what does he do? He's not the president. He's a civilian. You put your hand over your heart. That's how you respect the flag when they're doing the national anthem or Pledge of Allegiance and whatnot. So you're not a member of the military, that's what pissed me off. You're not an active member of the military, you disgusting waste of human DNA, you filthy America-hating traitor. Right, Trump's Vietnam was not getting STDs, as Haiku reminds us on the chat. He's a filthy, disgusting waste. And, oh, look how tough. Oh, with his hand. Oh, I am tough. Yeah, you're so tough. But you ran like a bitch when your country called. You called your daddy. And you got him to get some goddamn quack to write a note. I'm sorry. My precious little pustule, he won't be able to serve his country, do his duty because his feet hurt. Piece of dirt. And it really pissed me off. But nobody even points it out. You know what I mean? Nobody even mentioned it on any of the other threads I was looking at because, it's always something, of course. It never stops. It's always one offense after another. But he's not the president. How dare you? And it is offensive to me. Because he so denigrates the military all the time and the people who serve and the people who gave their lives for this country. And it's not just when he says, I don't get it, or he doesn't want to be seen with wounded veterans. It's everything. It's the treason. It's the January 6th traitors. It's the, stolen election. It's the big lie. It's the kissing Putin's ass or kissing any authoritarian ass. It's all of that behavior, all of that deplorable behavior that is a disgrace to this country. It's using America. When he humps the flag, literally hugging the flag. He might as well wipe his crotch off with the flag after banging some porn star while his wife is home recovering from childbirth. I won't even say banging. He just stuck his smaller than average whatever in some poor woman. I don't know. I feel bad for her. But that's all he does. He uses the flag. He uses the show, the pantomime. Oh, I'm such a man. I remember when he got whatever, one of his cabinet members, Mad Dog, General Mad Dog or whatever. His name is Mad. They call him Mad Dog Matters. Mad Dog. Because everything is a big fucking pantomime. Then it was like, he's the worst. He sucks. Everybody sucks. I never met a person that surrounded himself with so many people who suck. Oh, he's the best. But they call him Mad Dog. You fucking child. What is wrong with the idiots who want to vote for him? And every other idiot and every Republican. They're all deplorable. They're all beyond redemption. Look at that filth. that filthy face. Legally and peacefully punch it. Legally and peacefully. He can't, everything about it is disgusting. Just taking the, just taking the valor. That's what it is. It's stolen valor. Like, oh, you're going to stand there and salute now? After saying you don't want to pose with wounded veterans. And then I always think about him standing in in Normandy, using the gardens of stone of American soldiers who gave their lives fighting fascism. That's the backdrop for his sophomoric, babyish Fox News interview, where he's sitting there calling Nancy Pelosi Nervous Nancy. Nervous Nancy. There's your backdrop. Yeah, all those young men who stormed the beaches of Normandy, and this piece of dirt has the nerve to, want to destroy that American, whatever. It's not an exceptionalism. The American experiment. That's what he's doing. He's literally destroying the American experiment because he hates this country. I know. I cannot stand him either. Kathy says, I can't stand him. I can't. I just don't understand why anybody would want to vote. And, I want to show you something worse. It's, him standing there with acting all like he's the fucking commander-in-chief. He's nothing. He's a dirtbag who can't do one push-up. He's a liar. Everything about him, even the fact that he lies about his weight, proves that he's a bitch. Like, oh, I'm not a fat lard. I'm this weight. Well, because he can't be that weight. Be that weight if you want to be that. Well, you think that's so great? Then do it. Lose weight. Get fit. Grow 2 inches. But you can't. So you lie. Because you know what an inadequate, slimy slug you are. And the idiots eat it up. Just lap it up. A slug is going to be a slug. You can't help it, right? The slug is a slug. But what does it say about the people that lap up the slug? The slime on the slug. Oh, but here's another one. Here's their commander-in-chief, right? Big man here.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it.
What the fuck am I watching? Right? There's your Republican frontrunner, everyone.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it.
It's unbearable. It's effing unbearable. Trump 2024. Trump now more than ever. I keep seeing that fucking hashtag. Trump now more than ever. Why? Because why? You hate gays too? Fucking losers. Get a life, losers. And get lost. You want to live in Putin's Russia? Then live there. But you don't get to turn this country into that. You disgusting traitors. All right. Anyway, I wanted to finish up in our last 5 minutes with this gem. As you saw that it was, what the hell? George Santos survived the vote to expel him with the help of some Democrats. I'm of mixed feelings. Leave him in there. He's a dirtbag. He's a constant reminder. So, George Santos, who is a Republican and therefore a moron, as well as a con man and a cheat, a thief, a fraud, a scumbag who hates America, he sent the Democrats, well, not just the Democrats, but all the assholes and some of the Democrats who voted to keep him in office. He sent them a dear colleague letter. And because he's a moron, it was filled with misspellings and grammatical mistakes. So Jamie Raskin sent it back with a note. And let me see if I can drag it over. There it is, see? And he wrote, so George Santos writes, I am writing to express my gratitude to you for standing up for the principals. Principals. You know, like Principal McCluskey of PS 83. Of due process and presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Never in the history of this body has an expulsion been carried out before a member has stood before a jury of their peers and been convicted of the alleged crimes, and which are legion. I mean, that's me adding. Well, he writes, George Santos writes, of the alleged crimes they have been accused. Okay? I'm sure you can see what the problem is there. Convicted of the alleged crimes they have been accused. I want to sincerely emphasize that I know that your vote was not done for me, but for the sanctity of this institution and the possibility of setting a very dangerous precedent. For that, I thank you. So Jamie Raskin sends a note back with the note from George Santos, correcting it, where it says, you see here in the corner, principals, not principal, you fucking moron. You effing moron, you Republican. And then he writes, before a jury of their peers and been convicted of the alleged crimes of which they have been accused. And then in the last paragraph he writes, but I understand you did not do this for me, but for the sanctity of the institution and to avoid setting a very dangerous precedent, and to avoid the possibility of setting, because he doesn't know how to write. He never went to school. He never went to college. He barely, I don't know, did he get his GED? We don't know. He never wrote a paper, as much as he likes to say he graduated at the top of his class. You say it's like Trump going into the military. He likes to salute. He wants to salute. But he doesn't earn the salute. Right? He doesn't earn the right to salute. But he wants to do it anyway. But it takes time, earning the right to salute. It takes showing up, signing up. It takes going through training. It takes being able to do some push-ups. Right? But he can't do that. That's too much work. They want to have it all. It's like they want all the benefits, but none of the responsibilities. Again, like babies. Babies like to play. Babies like to play soldier. They like to play congressman. Right? So Jamie Raskin says, I appreciate your note. And only if someone had proofread it first. Meantime, you should apologize to the people of New York for all your lies and deceit. I know you must have thought you could see. I can't read something with the party of Trump. But truth is resilient. I couldn't figure out what that last sentence. All right, whatever. We will win. Thank you for hanging out. Check out APS Radio News and Charlie, who supports the show. We're on the right side of history. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you soon. Right, exactly, Jim on the chat. They like to dress up and be Katara Ravachi. That's her name. That's it. It's like all a pantomime. Pantomime of government. Pantomime of sincerity. Pantomime of compassion. Pantomime of strength. You know, when they're weak. Everything. I mean, I can't take it. If you hear a noise, Boudica is playing in a box. I got a box today. I got a delivery, and I put the box out for the cats. They like boxes. It's fun. Right, Booty? Right, Booty Boo? You good girl. You good girl. Come on, Booty. She's so cute. She is so cute. I have to show you her. Let me see if I can do... Oh, hi, Booty. Hi, honey. Come here, baby. Come here. Come over here. You're so cute. Thank you for coming over. Hi, Booty Boo. Isn't she cute? She hates this. She hates it. But you gotta do your job, Booty. Look at her. She's so good. She is so good. All right. Listen. I will try to have a show this week. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do weekday shows the past 2 weeks because of my schedule has been insane in the membrane. And hopefully, whatever. You know the drill. If you can become a patron. I got so much to do. I have so much work to do. And for the channel too. I gotta make shorts. Somebody do some research for me. Find out how do I make shorts using AI. Alright. I gotta go to bed. What time is it? Anything good on TV? I need to tune out my mind. I need to stop thinking about Republicans. Listen, I love you. I love you a lot. Isn't she the cutest? Yes, Haiku. Little pink nose. She is so cute. I can't take it. How do you get such a cute thing? But you know what's not cute? She does a lot of damage. She ripped a lot of things. She wakes me up. She ripped up my pillowcase, I gotta tell you. And then she woke me up by scratching my arm. So I got some scratches here. That's Booty. In the morning, I'm like, Boudica, leave me alone. So let me see. But I gotta clip her nails. She needs to be clipped. So, does AI want metal shorts? I don't know what that means. I need, I mean shorts for like YouTube. I need something that will take the clips of the show or take the show and make clips out of it that I don't have to think about. You know what I mean? Also, I got to take Francis to the vet on Monday. He's got he's got like a scab. I don't know what happened. He's got a scab like on his shoulder. It's like over a quarter in size. Now he's licking his something. All right. I'll let you know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. If he got hurt or it's some kind of infection on his skin. It's I just noticed it today. It's rather large. Don't do that on camera. Please. All right, listen, guys, I love you. It's been great seeing you. And thank you all for your super chats. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Charlie, from APS Radio News. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, friends. Love you. And hope to see you during the week. But hope to see you very, very soon.